Hey everyone, and welcome back to this Python tutorial series for beginners. In this video, we would be learning how we can store data permanently. So till now, what we've done is that we've created variables and we've stored our data there. But a variable is only there in your program till the time it's running. The moment the program becomes off, the variables go away from the memory and you have no way to access them again. So a solution to that is writing data to files. And that is what we would be learning today. We would be learning how you can access files. So primarily we would be dealing with .txt files or plain text files, and then we would learn how to write to binary files. So let's get started. First, before you write anything to a file or read anything from a file, you need to open it. And to open, we have certain modes in which you can open a file. We have W, we have A, we have R, we have RB, WB, we have W plus, we have A plus, and we have R plus. So if you look at these modes, these ones right here, W, A, W plus, and A plus, these ones will create a file if it does not exist. So first they would look for a file, and if not found, they would create a new file. These modes, on the other hand, even WB would create a file if it does not exist. So these modes would create a file if it does not exist. And these modes, on the other hand, which deal with reading data, they do not create a file if it does not exist. So let's understand what these modes are for. W means write, W plus means read and write, A means append, A plus means append and read. So let's understand the difference between append and write. So let's say you have a text file where you have hello written on the first line. So what write would do is that it would wipe this line hello and it would write whatever you've asked it to, while append, on the other hand, would not wipe this line and it would add the line which you've asked it to write after this one. So write overwrites the file and append adds to the end of the file. R plus and RB are primarily reading modes. The plus on each file name means that it can read and write. It just means that it can do both the things together. So these are reading modes, R, RB, and R plus. These are primarily for reading data. And WB and RB are for binary. The ones with B are for binary, and these deal with binary files, which we would work with later. So let's first learn how we read the data, and then we would go on to writing data into files. So I'm opening an instance of Visual Studio Code now, and I'll just get rid of all of this, and I'll create a file, new file, and I would call it data.txt. And let's write something here. So hello ABC123. So this is what I have written right now. So to access that, we would have to open it with the open function in Python. So open function in Python is used to open a file. We would be using something called a file handler, which would open and close the file automatically. You might remember in the last module I taught you that you should always close the files. So there is a function which does it for us. So why bother doing it ourselves when we have a function that does it much more efficiently? So to open the file, you would have to say with and then open. And in open, you need to pass two arguments. The first one is the name of the file with relative path, and the second one is the mode, and both of them need to be strings. So relative path means that your starting point is the same folder as your code. So this is my code and this is the starting point. And from here I need to specify the path. So data is directly in the same folder, so I would not need to mention any folder. But if I have a folder like files and I move data to that folder, I'll move it here. So what I would have to do is, since my starting point is here, first I need to go into files and then I can access data. So files, then slash data dot txt. Visual Studio Code also has this nice feature where if you right click, you can copy relative path, and when you do that you can just paste it here, and it's the same, just it's using the different slash because Windows uses that slash. So with open, and here you need to pass the mode. So right now I'll be using R because we just want to read data. Then after that you have to set an alias for this file handler, because using this chunk of code again and again it just gets annoying. So what we would do is we would give this an alias of file. So we'll say with open this file in read mode as file. So anything that you want to do to file, so anything you want to do to this file can be done using this variable called file. So we can say file dot read. So I'll catch file dot read into a variable called data, and I would just print data. So now I can say python 3 main.py, and if I run it, you see it printed hello abc123, which is exactly the same as what was written here. So it says hello abc and 123. Now we have a function called read line. It reads the first line by default, and using the read line function I can ask it to read only certain characters. So I can say read 5 characters from this file, and I'll run it and it read hello. But if I just want hell out of the file, I can say read first 4 characters, and if I run it again it gave me hell. We also have a function called read lines. This one is very useful, and it's actually the most useful one in my opinion. It returns a list of lines where each line is an element of the list. Let me show you what that means. So hello and hello abc123, and each line is an element of the list. There is a \n in each of these files because \n means enter, and I pressed enter key here. So that is what Python is catching. So that was it about reading from files. In the next video we would learn how to write to files. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.